today is New Year's Eve, so in typical Mauritian fashion, we tend to make a bit of a feast, and today we are making a gorgeous Mauritian style lamb biryani, okay? So in order to make it, what we've got here is around 2.5 kilos of chopped lamb leg, which is here. We've just fried off some onions, so here we've got around 10 onions, and what we've used is this onion there, which is a medium, I would say small to medium onion, which has been finely sliced, and then we fried that off as well. I've got around 50 grams of chopped mint, 100 grams of coriander. Here I've got some ginger and garlic minced, and it works out to be around 75 grams. I've got 3 long chillies, which we're going to slice later. We've got some whole spice now. We've got some cloves, which is around a teaspoon, and then 1 whole teaspoon of ground cardamom and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Then over here we've got a cup of yoghurt, and we're using a nice thick Greek yoghurt. Here is our saffron, which has been steeped and then drained, and that's our water left over, so it's got a gorgeous colour. Here is some ghee, which we're using, and then obviously some salt, which we're going to put in later. We fried off our potatoes already, so they're nice and crispy on the side, if you can see, and they've also had a bit of saffron on them and a bit of salt, and there's around 10 potatoes that have been chopped in half and fried off. Now moving on to making the rice. So here we've got our water, which is just boiling off, and we have our whole spices, which are just going to be crushed. So all I'm going to do is just take my pestle and just crush all the whole spices, and that's going to go into the water for the rice. So we've got our cardamom, we've got cloves, and we've got some cinnamon. And this rice, all we've done is we've washed it so that the water runs clear, so all the starch is off of it. We've got about 1 kilo of rice in here, okay? So this is cooking for the masses. We're waiting for this to come to a proper boil. As soon as it does, we're popping the rice straight in here along with our whole spices. And then here what we've got is some toasted cumin, which has been toasted and nice, all the lovely oils and fragrance has come out of it. And we've got around 4 tablespoons of whole cumin seeds here. So we're going to marinate the lamb first. So in there we're going to add our oil. Actually, we're using oil, not ghee, sorry. My mum prepared all the mixture. So it's oil that's going in there, it's vegetable oil. This is to marinate the lamb. And then what goes in next is going to be our spices. So we've got our ground cardamom that's going in. This is our cloves. Our ground cinnamon. Our chillies, which have been just pierced open. We've got 2-3 chillies going in, and then all of our garlic and ginger paste. Then we're adding in our chopped coriander. And now we're adding in our chopped mint. In with our fried onions. And we're just going to keep some for the top of the rice. And then we're going to add in our yoghurt, which is going to help marinade and give all that gorgeous juice in the biryani. The next step is to take our toasted cumin, and what we're going to do is grind this into a powder. So we're just going to take this off and grind it. So to our biryani mixture, we're going to add all of that ground cumin. It smells amazing. When you toast cumin, you release all that gorgeous fragrance. And then we're going to season it with a bit of salt. And this is where we get our hands messy, and we're going to mix it all together and marinate the meat. So we're going to just marinate the meat first. Get it all in, all the flavours marinating in the lamb. Guys, if you could smell this, seriously, oh my god, my mouth is literally watering. In Mauritius, you'll find biryani sellers across all the streets, and the vendors, they do lamb, they do chicken, they sometimes do vegetarian as well. But the way that we're making it today, this is our home style biryani. We're going to make it easier. So traditionally, biryanis are layered with, you have a meat layer, then potatoes, rice, then you put onions and coriander and stuff. And then you layer again with an extra layer of meat. What we're actually going to be doing is just using one layer of meat. So it's slightly simpler, but you're not going to miss out on the flavour. So now that we've marinated the lamb, we're going to then toss in the fried potatoes. They've only been fried, they haven't been cooked, just so you know. So they're still sort of hard on the inside. They've just been fried on the outside. And then now we're just going to marinate the potatoes and mix that all up together. And all we're now going to do is let that rest for around an hour at room temperature. Right guys, so the next step is to parboil the rice. So we're going to add in the whole spices, which is the cardamom, which has been crushed. Then goes in the cinnamon, which has just been snapped in half. And then finally we've got the cloves that are going in. We've also seasoned the water with salt as well. So a bit of salt needs to go in there just to make sure it's seasoned. And then finally we're going to toss in the pre-soaked and washed rice. And it's around 1.5 kilos of rice we've got here, and it's a long grain basmati. We use tilda at home, and we think it's the best for biryani. So that's going to go straight in. And because we're parboiling, we're literally just going to keep it in for around 4 to 5 minutes. So the rice is cooked now, we're just going to take it off the heat, and we're going to just drain that straight into the sink. And onto our trusty pearl of Indian Ocean, Mauritius. Everyone has one of these. Every Mauritian has something like this. So the rice is going to go on there, and we're just going to let that sort of dry out a little bit. Let some of the steam come off. And now we're going to get ready to layer our biryani. The meat's had over an hour of marinating as well. The meat has had over an hour of marinating. We're just going to add in a cup of water. So this is going to help steam and create some juices at the bottom of the pan, and to make sure that the meat doesn't stick as well. It works out to be around 150 mils of water that's gone in. So now our rice is parboiled. We're going to add in half the rice to the pan. So we're just covering the lamb entirely, and then the first layer of rice is going to get some onions that we reserved, and some of the chopped coriander and some of the chopped mint as well. That's going to go over just to keep adding more fragrance to the biryani. Then we're going to add in our saffron, so a layer of saffron that's just going to get speckled over. So So now we're going to do exactly the same with another last layer of rice. So now this just needs a layer of foil over it, and that's going to help trap in all the steam. Then back on with the lid. And that's now going to go and cook on the hob on a medium heat for around 1 hour.